as we suspected. The mastermind behind the kid's escape was Eli.
I thought he already had issued an ultimatum to us.
An armed uprising against us. He could be hiding something else too. Ocelot's gonna press him for answers. Get back here as quick as you can.
Time to torture some children.
Virus.
I told you, your father's not here.
They're back.
Yes, they're back. But don't get any bright ideas. Your quarters are under full surveillance. Your weapons privileges have been suspended.
He had weapons privileges? Who was responsible for that choice?
It would be that easy, Commander.
A fool.
A foolish
You'll
fool.
get your boys back. Hell, you can see the boss too.
First, I need to know what you sent them to do.
They wanted to leave.
To their homelands.
He's so British.
They wanted to go home. That's all.
So they were just homesick then.
Liquid, how did you get to be so British?
Military warlords, PFs, the armies that murdered their families.
British
Cousins,
forever.
brothers, parents. They all had someone to kill.
Despite being raised in Afghanistan and found in Africa.
I told them, last chance to face the world with no regrets.
Last chance.
You better be ready if you're dragged back here. Ready to face the world as enemies.
Did they... What? What in the Christ? Did they kidnap Sahelanthropus? I knew it was a bad idea to keep that thing here, but no one ever listens to me. It's all Miller this and Revolver Ocelot that.
I'm not like you! Goodbye, Father. I don't need you anymore.
I've got my own Metal Gear. It's really cool. I wish I could get in a Metal Gear like this again someday. It's just psychically floating away. That kid just stole our nuclear walking battle tank.
Accident. Or did Eli just rig it to stir up the boys? Either way, he had to have been planning for this all along. Bidding farewell to the world.
We all look like a bunch of huge idiots, huh? Liquid! Sweet. What a cool looking emblem. Sure would be great if a private military used it someday.
Boss, we're looking for the kids in Sahelanthropus, but there's still no sign of them. We don't know if the chopper pilot is alive either. What have we gone and put in the hands of those kids? We don't know how bad this is until we find them.
Never get solid, baby.
Also, regarding our concerns about Eli, I finished looking into whether or not he's a product of that project. I have an answer. I put it on tape. Give it a listen.
Really? Can't just communicate it to me in person?
Boss, I've updated the mission list. We've received some new job offers. The details are on your iDroid.
brought back all the child soldiers who escaped. Eli knew they'd returned. Needless to say, nobody said a word to him. I guess they got a message to him somehow. Eli wasn't put in the corner in timeout. He was locked up in that room, completely cut off from the outside world. Then how'd he find out? There's only one possibility I can think of. The Soviet Union has been researching military applications for psi phenomena. Psi? Things like psychokinesis and ESP,
It's
extrasensory perception.
a stupid short name. I'll give you that.
Knowing what card somebody's holding up. Psychic powers? Come on. I thought that was just another bunch of disinformation aimed at the West. Just bear with me a second. One type of ESP is telepathy. It's the ability to know another person's thoughts through knowledge.
Also, you definitely had like an in-depth conversation with a psychic in off the coast of San Geronimo.
Ocelot. Look, psi research isn't some hocus pocus. It's all evidence-based, scientific. There's got to be another explanation. Maybe one of the kids stuck a note to your back. I hope that's the case. But I am convinced that they have, or Eli has, a connection to some force we have yet to identify. You better watch yourself, boss. How am I supposed to do that? If he is depending on something for help, well, that's his Achilles heel. If you can figure out what that something is, you might be able to use it against him. I'll keep that in mind. Oh, and the medical team is looking after the kids left on Mother Base. For the moment, they don't seem too panicked. But boss, get this. Eli got those kids to plot their armed uprising as a diversion. Also, he could steal Sahelanthropus and escape. That brat got us good. Set us up and knocked us down. And then there's that mystery kid who was with Eli. Those two working together, I'd say things won't be over for a long time yet.
Well, nothing new to do. How peculiar.
I'm gonna get on the truck.
In order to get more missions, you're saying?
Yo.
That's smart. That's great. Great design. Oh right, I forgot there's an accept all.
About Eli hijacking Sahelanthropus. We know how he got it moving. It
Psychic
was
power.
Alric. He used
What?
the kids in the staff living quarters to carry out his repairs. We got the details on tape. You're gonna want to hear
What?
this.
Okay, well that doesn't get me closer to finding him though. Ah, there it is. No wait, that's
Boss,
not
we've
it.
got the results of Eli's genetic tests. We can finally put this worry behind us.
Although that's an
Used the
interesting one.
PCR technique and conducted DNA
Questioning
fingerprinting
Huey
of the
4.
copied
We missed a
DNA
questioning
sequences.
Huey.
No.
Neither is mainstream science yet, but the
But
concepts and procedures
2
are
and
sound.
4.
Both tests
There's-
say there is
there should be a 3.
0% chance that the two of you are blood relatives, meaning the results are negative. He's not your son, nor is he your clone. He's just another person.
It was 12 years ago that Zero made plans to
12 years ago. Okay.
Eli's age and appearance certainly are a good fit. I admit the first time I saw him I did a double take, but it looks like we were worried for nothing. Eli isn't your clone.
You
But
keep
you
saying
might still
that.
have one somewhere out there.
But if Eli isn't the boss's clone, why does he seem so obsessed with him? Not to mention having one hell of an attitude for his age.
That's an understatement.
Learning the truth about himself, cursing the fact he's a clone, bearing a grudge against selfish adults, and coming to hate who he was cloned from. Big boss. If that were really the case, I could understand it. I might even feel a bit sorry for him. But no clone could have a totally different DNA fingerprint. And the test left no
Unless
room
he's
for
got
error.
all of
You
your
yourself were there
recessive
when we drew
genes.
Eli's blood sample.
Oh,
Come to think of it,
wait.
when we went to OKB-0, he'd snuck onto a chopper
Then he
and was
wouldn't-
there.
Yeah.
He was acting strange even then. Or actually from a little before that time.
That was exactly when we began these tests.
Maybe he suspected something when we drew the sample, not knowing what we were doing to him, and becoming mistrustful of us.
Hard to say. Eli's had an attitude problem from day one.
Again, understatement. He led
He's gonna
an army
tell
of
us that
child
himself.
soldiers.
We'll need to get him to open up more first.
That's a little more than a disagreeable attitude. That is anarchical.
In having the children repair Sahelanthropus.
I just answered their questions. I had no idea they would actually try to fix it. I mean, can you imagine a child piloting it?
Oh, sure.
I saw it with my own eyes.
I bet it's just like riding a bike.
I said it didn't work.
Who did you try?
I didn't.
Did you put your son in it?
We never did that.
His name was, Hal, wasn't it?
Oh, Hal's already been born,
You
huh?
never saw his face. But you made him pilot Sahelanthropus. You used him in your experiments.
He wanted to get in. It was such a short time we had.
So he was with you.
We were happy.
You're still happy now. Changing your lies to suit the listener and getting by slipping through the cracks. Building layers.
Wow, it sounds like sounds like Huey really deserved to drown in that pool after finding his stepson or his son sleeping with his wife.
Doing it. Think hard. Who are you really? You're not a victim, and you're not the silent majority. You're a perpetrator and a petty.
You got an ass missile.
The real world doesn't make you suffer. It's the other way around.
Why isn't there another mission? Check side ops, maybe? There's a new target.
Development complete.
But no new important ones. We must need to satisfy some sort of set of conditions that we have not yet satisfied. Because fuck you.
Please select a mission.
Or maybe it'll be a random trigger once we get back on the ground. Who knows?
Boss, we have an emergency. There's been another
boy.
outbreak of the vocal cord parasites on the base. Several men are dead.
Jesus.
It started in the laboratory on the quarantine platform where the radiation leak occurred. I'd only just deployed the security team. I've sent in a rescue team to help, but they haven't returned. Boss, I need you on this. Come back to Mother Base ASAP.
Better not lose all our men again. I will be very angry.
Here we go again. There's been another outbreak in the laboratory. The quarantine platform. We sent a team to investigate and recover the survivors, but they haven't returned.
There's nothing on the radio either.
Yeah, like that. Talk to me in person.
We got a backup team ready to go. Just give the order and
I'll go alone.
Boss, what are you... There's no need for that.
We can't afford to lose anyone else.
We have no idea what's going on.
Exactly. Anyone still alive's at their breaking point. Last thing we need is another unit storming in. No telling how they'd react.
Fine. First off, check how much the infection has spread. Rescue comes next, after we know the situation. When you're ready to move, just use the iDroid.
Did they just copy paste that sound clip from the rest of the game? I kind of thought that scene with Liquid jumping off from the sea was going to be followed with a to be continued and a boss fight. It's like, oh man, you have to fight Metal Gear on Mother Base again?
We have no idea why the parasite has showed up again. I thought we took care of it. We need more information. Find out what's going on, boss. Select the mission on your iDroid.
Press X to accept all. Super spooky. They really want us to rescue those peacekeepers.
Have you forgotten my face?
Leave me be.
You won't respond to anyone else, so I figured it must be me you wanted to see. But now you won't even look at me.
Have I not suffered enough?
Not until you've eased my suffering first. To tell you the truth, old man, I'm in a bit of a bind. It's about your children.
Always about children.
You know what I mean? The parasites. The ones that infect a man's throat, killing him if he speaks their language.
They must not be allowed to multiply.
You are allowed to live only in order to help me. But you don't want to, do you? So why not choose death instead? Because you want to protect the Diné and their land from me. That's your purpose, isn't it? Don't lose sight of that now. It's in your interest to cooperate. Because if you don't...
Madness.
The parasites can't detect your people's tongue. So I'll just have to resort to more heavy-handed means. I have the greatest respect for your people. I would rather avoid such a thing, but... we don't always get our way. I was born a tiny mote in a mighty tempest. And until those winds abate, all I can choose is how to act when they blow this way or that.
Yep.
Tell me, Code Talker, what happens to a man infected with a pair of your parasites? Can they be removed? Can the full-blown symptoms be prevented?
It is impossible to remove the parasites alone. They have too close an affinity with humans.
Then how do you stop the symptoms from developing? All right. I was hoping for an answer now, but perhaps you just need a little more time. I'll be back soon. I've set up shop, not far from here. We'll be seeing a lot more of each other.
If you're close by, then it is almost complete.
We're in the final phases. All that's left is to see if I can actually disable a nuke, with the help of your metallic archaea. Once that's done, I won't have to return here again. And your suffering will end, as will your people's. We're almost finished.
Boy, we get a very special scene for no reason. Oh, quiet, no. Oh, quiet, no.
No, it's fine.
Oh, here.
It's magic.
Light as a feather. Just dancing around. Whee!
Kojima.
I mean, she barely had pants on in the first place. It looks really uncomfortable, actually, now that I'm getting a better look at it. This isn't nearly the first time she's been out in the rain. Oh, this is giving me the long, awkward willies. Oh, and then I saw her skeleton and muscles. I'm sorry, I didn't know I was being watched after I jumped out of a helicopter. He was watching me. But it's okay because it's you, Big Boss. Oh. Hee. Oh, I'm such a scamp. Oh, me too. You better believe it, little lady. I'm like 50 years older than you, by the way. I'm old enough to have 3 cloned sons who are all 12 or 14.
It's 12 years ago, he said.
Oh, our love is forbidden. No one can ever know. Excuse me while I take my boots. Yeah. That really gets you to grinding.
Boss, I've updated the mission list.
What?
We've received some new job offers. The
That-
details are on your iDroid.
That was what unlocked our new missions?
We already have a new mission.
Weren't there only 5 before?
Please select a mission.
Oh, okay. Okay, so it was at least still unlocked from the last one.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Phew. Because that would have been too ridiculous. Too ridiculous to handle.